All right, we're back. This is Rage in a Cage with BamBam and Schwaggs. I'm your host, Frank BamBam Horak. And with me, as always, my co-host, Mikey Schwaggs.
And with us, as always, is our producer, Tough Tony. How's it going?
What's going on, guys? We got a lot of stuff to talk about this next segment. We have some NFL free agency. Let's jump right into
Yes.
it.
All right,
Let's jump
talk
right
about
into it.
it.
A lot of signings.
Yeah, a lot of signings, a lot of moves. But let's get the Peyton Manning talk
Let's
out
get
of
him out of
the
the
way.
way. Yep.
Because now he's ruled out the Dolphins. He's ruled out the Cardinals.
Yep.
The Dolphins now appear to be the front runner in Matt Flynn. The Cardinals picked up Kevin Cobb's option today, so he'll be back as their quarterback. So now Peyton's pretty much down to Tennessee, the Broncos,
And
now
the sleeper team.
Yeah, mystery team has emerged. San Francisco 49ers.
Never saw that one coming.
I didn't.
And now that I'm thinking about it, that's pretty scary to think about if Peyton goes there.
Well, it's funny to think about because with the 49ers last year, obviously a great team, made it to the NFC Championship game, but they did it with defense, running the ball. Alex Smith is their quarterback, but basically, was a game manager. Manage the game, just don't make the dumb mistake.
Yep.
So now this year, possibly you could have Peyton Manning as your quarterback with Randy Moss as a receiver. They could be a scary team, but still, I'm not sold on Randy Moss. I mean, he's out of football last year. Didn't have a great year then the following year. So and Crabtree, I know he was a high first round pick, but he hasn't really hasn't played like that yet. He's certainly not a number one receiver type yet. So I personally don't think that's where Peyton's going. I still think he'd rather stay in the AFC.
I think
look
that too.
also, I mean, you have to look at the weapons. I mean, yeah, a great defense, no question about it with San Francisco. Very good running game with Gore and Kendall Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got to look at the receiving core. I mean, Crabtree is still big.
You got
question
Vernon
mark.
Davis though.
Well, Vernon Davis, no question. But that's it. That you can feel confident.
You know what? I really think that they're going to end up signing Mario Manningham
I do too. He did visit them. I mean, that's a strong possibility. So there's possibility for it to have put together a nice receiving core. But
And speaking of Mario Manningham, you want to talk about the Giants signing?
Well, let's talk about the Giants. Well, let's talk a little Peyton a little first.
We can talk a little bit more Peyton.
But Peyton, I still think he's going to the Broncos.
You still think that?
I think it ultimately comes down to John Elway basically running the team there. Peyton, student of the game, has nothing but respect to Elway. Saw how he went out winning the 2 Super Bowls at the end of his career in Denver. Mm-hmm. I just look at Denver with the 2 young receivers, with Eric Decker and Thomas, that they have a good shot. They have a good defense, certainly not on the level of San Francisco.
Yeah, the only thing that with that Denver team is their running game is questionable.
It is a little questionable, but that's what the draft is for. And still, you look at free agency. There's still a lot of solid backs out there also.
Oh, absolutely.
So who knows? And Tennessee, I mean, they have a shot.
I think Tennessee got a little bit stronger with the signing of Steve Hutchinson.
Yeah, that was a very good signing for them. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. If Peyton does wind up signing with Tennessee, then they're most likely going to trade Matt Hasselbeck.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely, I would think the Browns make the most sense to me with Mike Holmgren being there, his relationship
He'll probably,
with Hasselbeck.
yeah.
Obviously, they're not sold on Colt McCoy. I know Holmgren came out with a statement the other day how they offered the same exact deal to the Rams that the Redskins did, but the only reason they didn't get it is because Jeff Fisher and Mike Shanahan are such good friends, and he was a little bitter about it. So they're obviously not sold on Colt McCoy, so I could see Hasselbeck going there if Peyton went to Tennessee. But I still think he's going to end up in Denver. But we'll see.
It's a strong possibility. Definitely a strong
strong
possibility. It all depends on how his workout goes there today.
Yeah. Well, a lot of other free agent moves now, like you said. We'll start with the Giants. They got a new tight end,
Martellus Bennett,
former
Cowboy.
I
love doing that. You said that.
Yeah, when I first heard about he was meeting with them, they're interested in him. I wasn't a big fan of it. So he had the reputation trying to be being lazy with Dallas and stuff. But now that I saw what they do, only a 1-year deal. The guy's only 25 years old, 6'6", 270.
Got a lot of raw talent.
A lot of talent, and he's gonna be highly motivated because it's just a 1-year deal. Next year the cap goes way up, so now he knows if he plays good, he has a chance for a big money contract either with the Giants or with another team.
That tight end position is questionable.
Yeah, he's gonna have a chance to start right away with Ballard with the ACL, Bear Pasco really being the only other tight end on their roster. So I actually like the signing now. That was only a 1-year deal. I think he's gonna be a highly motivated guy. Talking with the Cowboys, they've been
making some moves too.
Pretty aggressive. I mean, they had a horrible secondary last year, so Brandon Carr was a nice signing. They got Bradley Poole also to go into their secondary. Not sure
about that one.
But
Matt Bradshaw took him down pretty handily.
But they've been Kyle Orton now as their backup. Got Dan Connor for a linebacker.
That's a good signing
so
too. They needed a middle linebacker.
Yeah, a couple of offensive linemen, so they've been pretty aggressive. One signing that I actually personally really like was Peyton Hillis going to the Chiefs. Also a 1-year deal, so he's looking for a big money contract next year also. You put a healthy Peyton Hillis with a healthy Jamal Charles.
Scary.
That could be a
It's a
very
scary
nasty
duo.
combination. That could be the definitely like thunder and lightning. You hear a
Yeah.
lot of times that could definitely be like a thunder and lightning type of
Absolutely.
running backs.
But it all depends on how Jamal Charles comes back from that ACL injury.
Absolutely. And then the Bills, Mario Williams.
They got him.
They did get him. Did not think he was going to sign with the Bills, but they signed him to a big contract.
$50 million guaranteed. Yeah. Wow.
But that definitely helps the Bills' defense, no question about it. And then you look at some of the receivers, Vincent Jackson with the Bucks, and now the Chargers to replace him get Robert Meacham.
It's a good signing for
Eddie
them.
Royal also bring him in. It's not a terrible signing.
Give Phillip Rivers a few weapons.
And you got the former Cowboy receiver. His name's escaping me.
Laurent Robinson.
There you go.
He signed with the Jaguars.
Jacksonville Jaguars. So not
he got a pretty good deal after the year he had. You know,
he's
replacing
actually got a lot
Miles
more money
Austin.
than I thought he was going to get. So yeah, it was a good signing for them. The Jaguars definitely need weapons. You had Cortland Finnegan getting reunited with Jeff Fisher in the Rams.
Yeah, so that's
another not a bad signing for them.
Good signing for them. They
need
some help.
No question about it.
Absolutely. And speaking of all these big deals getting signed, Drew Brees is still waiting. And you know, he's only getting more and more leverage as all these deals come out. You know, all these $60 million guaranteed, $50 million guaranteed. I don't understand how New Orleans is not going to pay this guy after everything he's done for them.
When it's all said and done, he's going to be in New Orleans and he's going to have his big money contract. Why they're dragging out the way they're doing it, I have no idea. But I think, when it's all said and done, though, he will get his contract.
I don't know.
It's also interesting, though, if, say, Peyton ends up signing with the 49ers, which I don't think he does, but then Alex Smith then becomes a pretty hot free agent quarterback. So then you could look at a team like the Browns. The Dolphins might want to take him over Flynn. But he definitely, I would think, becomes then the top guy over. Because right now, say Peyton does go with the Broncos, then you would think Flynn then is the next.
Well, yeah, Flynn's the next.
Guy. But if he goes with the 49ers, then, a lot of teams then might have some interest in Alex Smith coming off a career year.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Yeah, I could definitely see the Browns being interested. Not so much the Dolphins, because I really think the Dolphins are going to end up pulling out Matt Flynn. Joe Philbin. It makes
the most sense, yeah.
Joe Philbin's the coach there now. He was the former offensive coordinator at Green Bay.
He knows Flynn the best. And they're in a more of a rebuilding stage. So I think Flynn would be more interested in just because he's looking to get his first starting job. So I would think maybe Smith at the Browns would probably be a better shot for him. But I can't see Peyton though ending up in San Francisco.
You don't think so?
I just don't. I think he'd rather be in the AFC.
You think
he's more comfortable there? I wouldn't be shocked with Tennessee because that's where he went to college. Obviously, it's in that division. I just think you look at the Broncos with speaking divisions. You look at their division. Broncos won it last year at 8-8. You look at the Raiders are always a mess. I don't think they have a single draft pick in this year's draft and do all the moves they've made.
No.
Then you look at the Chiefs. Matt Castle's still a big question mark at quarterback. And then, like you said, if Jamal Charles can come back healthy. And then you look at the Chargers. Obviously, Robert Meacham has potential, but he's certainly not at this level right now with Vincent Jackson.
The Chargers are always a question mark.
And they're also
always going into the season.
Be losing Mike Tolbert. So, they'll be losing a couple of guys. That definitely hurts because Ryan Matthews is always, a little bit of an injury concern, has trouble staying healthy. So I think if you look at that division, I think that's the easiest way. I mean, obviously with Tennessee, they were 9-7, just missed the playoffs. And you look at that division, the Colts are rebuilding, Jaguars are rebuilding. But the Texans, though, they're not a good team. They're
fantastic.
I put them up there.
They got one of the best defenses in the league.
If they get shot, they lost Mario Williams, but I don't really think that's a big loss for them. They pretty much didn't play with them all last year, and they were just fine with Brian Cushing, J.J. Watt, Jonathan Joseph.
J.J. Watt had an amazing rookie year.
And Wade Phillips, not much of a head coach, but a defensive coordinator.
One of the best.
Yeah, he's pretty good. So
he really is.
I look at the Texans as like a top team. I look at that AFC West as
question mark.
Yeah.
Anybody can win that division.
If the Broncos can win it with Tebow, they can certainly win it with Peyton Manning as their quarterback when you look at that other, the rest of the teams.
And if he goes to Denver, he might be able to throw the ball 1,000 yards in that stadium.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
The elevated sea level and everything. And speaking of, there was rumor heard, and I want to get your take on this because I know you're a huge Giants fan, and I am as well. Supposedly, there was some rumor that Jeremy Shockey wanted to reunion with the Giants.
I heard this also.
That was quickly squashed by himself on Twitter, saying quoting something like, I don't know where all these rumors are coming from, how I want to go back to New York when I never said that. When did I once say that I wanted to go back to New York?
I suppose it was a Twitter feud between him and Amani Toomer going back and forth.
Amani Toomer's response to Shockey coming back to New York, bad teammate, worst person.
Yeah, and listen, when Shockey's rookie year, the great rookie year, looked like the next Mark Bavaro. You know, as far as Giant fans go with tight ends, you look at this, but he's just stupid, basically.
Yeah.
He just does a lot of
He's a
dumb
knucklehead.
things. Exactly.
He's a knucklehead.
Does a lot of dumb things, says a lot of dumb things. So yeah, I see the Giants having zero interest in bringing him back.
Well, with the signing of Martellus Bennett, that just shows that
they
they
can
have
still
zero
even
interest.
use another tight end, even though I think they'll go through the draft for that.
I'll
'Cause
just-
look, Ballard's not going to be ready till November, hopefully.
Yeah,
and,
Beckham's probably done for
Beckham's
the
done.
season.
Yeah, he's done, and he's a free agent anyway. I don't see the Giants bringing him back, so they could actually bring in another tight end. But I would see Jerry Reese having zero interest in bringing Shockey back,
especially after what Shockey said after he left, saying I'll never effing play for you again.
So
keep that going because we don't want you. To be honest,
he can go back to Carolina or something like that. But yeah, he's not coming back to the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, he was a fan favorite when he was here.
Well, I used to like the guy a lot, but
he used to be one of my favorite players. I'll admit it now, but can't stand the guy.
No, said way too many stupid things, and like Toomer said, he's just a bad teammate. So no, there's no fit on the Giants. That's for sure.
No, absolutely not. And I don't think there's any other rumors going on right now. But from what we last heard, Peyton worked out for the Broncos.
Yeah, he secretly worked out for.
He secretly worked out for San Fran. Nobody saw that coming.
No, he worked out for the Broncos. It hasn't been scheduled yet, but he's going to be working out for Tennessee. And that's basically the three teams.
The Broncos, yeah, those are the three finalists. The Broncos said that he looked comfortable in the workout too.
Oh yeah, well Elway loves him. He wants because again, Elway and Fox weren't there when Tebow was drafted. They don't want Tebow long term. He might be a fan favorite. He might even turn out to still be a good quarterback. You can't say one way or the other.
This is what I see happening. If Peyton signs with Denver, they trade Tebow to Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's what. Well, I mean, that would make the most sense to me. Even though Jacksonville did just sign Chad Henne, they did just draft Blaine Gabbert, but when Tebow was coming out in the draft,
he would be
a
legend
huge outcry for Jacksonville wanted them to draft Tebow because obviously very popular in Florida. So I could see it, but they did, like I said, they just use a first-round draft pick on Blaine Gabbert. They did just sign Chad Henne.
They might want to see how he works out.
So we'll see, but
maybe 1 or 2 more years.
I would think that would be the number one destination would be Jacksonville.
Either there, maybe Miami.
Maybe, Miami. Absolutely.
It's possible.
You never know there, because obviously Matt Flynn is a huge question mark. You'd think he's going to turn out to be an okay quarterback, especially staying in Philbin's system if he goes to Miami.
I think.
But, the guy I think has, 2 starts in his career?
Yeah, he had that one amazing start for Green Bay last year. He threw the 6 touchdown passes. And from that game, he might get a pretty big contract just from that one game. But it might be a mistake. Yeah. You don't know. You don't know how he's going to play.
There's nothing wrong with competition either. You always can raise your level.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Giant tight ends, also the Kansas City Chiefs also signed Kevin Boss.
Yes, I saw that. I was hoping the Giants might sign Boss.
I liked Boss there, but concussion issues,
he's injury prone.
Yeah. He's had trouble staying healthy. All last year with the Raiders. Only had like 28 catches. So as much as I liked Boss when he was a Giant, I was glad to see him not resign. Yeah. Steve Smith is still a possibility, though, for the Giants to resign.
Yeah, he was saying he was, welcome to a return.
Did you figure
also, Plaxico.
I don't want.
Welcome to a return.
No interest in Plaxico. I'm still very bitter of the
2008
thing.
You are very bitter.
Well, they were the best team in football, and then he shot himself in the leg, and that screwed the whole season up. So yeah, I want nothing to do with Plaxico Burress.
All right, we're gonna have to wrap this segment up.
We come back, though. We got some madness to talk about.
The madness, Frank. 15 seed beating a 2 seed.
Couple of upsets. For the most part, though, went as expected. But we'll be right back.
And there's an upset in the making right now, possibly.